Hi, this is LJ Bothell, and this video is for Microsoft Outlook 2013. We're going to take a quick look at organizing the folders for our emails. So right now I have my Outlook open, and on the left pane over here we're looking at basically the email folder pane. And what we want to do is find out a little bit more about how to organize our work. So the book will cover this a little bit, but let's take a look at it together. First off, we know we have our favorites. I'm not going to get into this right now, although you can easily add things to your favorites. We'll play with that later. I'm, of course, continuing to ignore the data file. But what I want to do is find more ways that I can organize my work here in Outlook. Now, right now, because we're interfacing with Gmail, we know that our inbox is pulling emails in from Gmail. And it's also storing them there because the Gmail server is where these emails live, not on your computer and not like on the school server or anything else. We're also seeing folders that are created by Gmail. So Gmail has a draft folder. A draft folder is where an email resides until you send it out. You have the sent email folder, so these are emails that I've sent out. You have a trash folder for anything you've trashed but that you haven't deleted from your trash. You have an important folder, and Gmail basically will determine things that seem like they're important because they'll say rush or hot or something like that, or because you may have in an email set some sort of priority to it. Spam, this is something that Gmail has a fairly robust process for determining what spam is, and in Gmail if you like to star emails. We may not use some of these in here. But let's take a look at our inbox. Our inbox right now, my inbox that I'm demonstrating, has 4 messages. So I have Stay More Organized with Gmail's inbox, 3 tips how to get the most out of Gmail, an introduction email, and then a new student email. So if I were, for instance, to open up the new student email, this is an example of a kind of, hello? This is the example of an email I might get from a student, and as an instructor I would want to keep it through the quarter. This intro email is an example of the kind of email I as an instructor will be sending to you students. And then these 2 are references from Gmail about how to use email through them. And while this is Outlook and this isn't important to me, I still want to keep this information in case I have to figure something out behind the scenes. Well, where would these go? Would they go into important? Would they go wherever? I want to create a new folder to organize. So what I'm going to do is in my Bothell Go, I want to right click on it and I want to create a new folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it Reference. Reference is something that I will put in emails that I might like to refer to at a later time, but I'm not sure for what. So I'm going to call this Reference and save it. There it is. So if I go to my inbox and I've decided I want this email from Gmail to go into my reference, I could pop it over here. Same thing here. There they are. Then I have something that is from a new student, and I have something I send to students. Well, these may not be specific reference materials like these are, so I want to organize how I would save these. So one, I'm going to just say, create a new folder and call it Students. There's my Students folder. So if I go to my inbox, I can grab my new student file and click this. And then I want to create another one that is my announcements, my information to students. So I'm just going to call this Announcements. And it pops up down here. I'm going to go to my inbox and I'm going to put my email here. Now notice these are being created in Outlook. They're not being created in Gmail. Now I'm kind of curious about this. I'm wondering how much Outlook is going to affect my Gmail. So just for kicks, I already opened up my Gmail. I want to make sure to refresh it because it's been sitting here doing its thing. And I want to take a look and see if there's anything interesting. Oh, look at this. I have an announcements folder that I know that I didn't before, a reference folder, and a students folder. These are folders that I just created over in my Outlook. So even though they are not listed in Gmail here, they are listed here. Now I am kind of curious, so I'm going to ask you to bear with me because we want to see what happens here. I'm going to close my Outlook, and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to open my Outlook. Now why am I doing this? I want to see if this actually ends up moving these. Nope, they didn't. They remained exactly where they were in my Outlook, even though Gmail has brought over these folders. Gmail has these folders, but Gmail's internal folder system did not translate these and move them up here in Outlook. So I can keep this closed, and there's just how I can organize my work. My announcements, my reference, my students. Now another thing I want to do, since we do have all these folders in Gmail, I'm going to click back over to Gmail, and I want to see what I can do here. I encourage you to try this on your own. In Gmail, it doesn't call these folders. It calls them labels. You can manage your labels. And what I would like to see if there's anything in here that I can delete that I don't want. So for instance, these are important labels. Now these are the ones I have created. But I am wondering about the important. Now with the important, I can't delete it, but look at this. Gmail is giving me the option to see these different folders in IMAP. And IMAP is basically the form of connection we have between Gmail and our Outlook. So if I'm in Outlook here, I can see drafts, I can see sent mail, trash, important, spam, and starred. If I go over to my Gmail, these same things are here. Well, the thing is, I don't really need to see the important folder. Gmail already decided I don't need to see chats, probably because chats doesn't work out in Microsoft Outlook. And I do want to see drafts of my work. I do want to see mail that I've sent so I can find it. But I do not want to see starred work because I'm not going to be starring work in Outlook. It doesn't work that way. And as I say, the important emails is simply the way Gmail assigns a status to emails that you already have in your inbox or in some other box that you organize them in. I do want to see spam, so I can empty the spam folder when I need to. And then the all mail is basically just behind the scenes. Categories, these things don't even come up in Outlook. These are Gmail specific things, so they haven't even come in. And then the labels essentially are new folders: announcements, references, and students. So I've done this. Now I want to go back over to Outlook. Look, okay. Now, can I refresh this? I was hoping I could refresh it. I may not be able to refresh anything. Let's try an F5. No, it doesn't refresh it. So right now I'm still seeing important and starred, but what I want to do is I want to close Outlook again, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to exit Gmail, and I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to open Outlook. Oh, look at that. When it reopened Outlook, it basically refreshed the contents. Now when we look over here at Gmail, we see drafts, we see sent mail, we see trash, we see spam, but we do not see important and we do not see starred. Woo! Isn't that nice? I love organizing stuff. So anyway, this is just a little bit about how you can organize your work. The book will give you some specific examples and a couple of tasks about it, but this becomes very, very important in a business environment and in your own environment if you are an organized person. It allows you to be able to save emails for your different classes, for different assignments. If you're in a workplace and you do a lot of project work, you'll be able to create a folder for a specific project and subfolders in that email folder. So if I were to click here, for instance, to reference, I can right click on this and I should be able to create a new folder. And notice how it's going to be under reference. So I might just put a Gmail one here. Why? Because these are Gmail reference folders. And then in F reference, I might go ahead and create another new folder and say Outlook tips. So if you were to get an email from me, you could save it in your reference Outlook tips folder, and then you can collapse this. So anyway, that should give you a little information about organizing your work. I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much.